Okay, so we're here having a transition meeting. Brisco, would you like to introduce everyone?
I'm Brisco. My mama.
Hi, I'm Madeline.
Miss Kenzie.
I'm Mackenzie, the special ed teacher.
Miss Bree.
Hi, I'm Coach Bree. I'm a PE teacher.
Awesome. Brisco, would you like to share some of the interests and things you would like to do in the future that we sort of talked about?
I like sports.
Brisco really enjoys going to the basketball and the baseball games after school. He's always a big fan. Always there to support the team.
I love math.
He's always doing his math homework at home. He never forgets to do it. He always makes sure he has it done.
And I know in class he has done great in math. He scored proficient in math, and he seems to be really interested in learning new skills.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
I love math.
Yeah, we enjoy having you at the volleyball practices after school, and I see you in the gym also for basketball practices as well. And I just think sports probably be a good route for you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to share?
Feeding the pets.
Brisco is a really big help at home. Always helping out doing chores and helps me sweep the floors, and he's always taking care of the pets. He likes to take our dog for a walk every day after school.
Sure, he's always a big help cleaning up the classroom too.
I've made him sweep the gym a couple times. He's pretty good at that too.
So right now we have him going to attend the Disabilities Resource Center in the Live Out Loud Academy, which is just preparing him more for adulthood and like what he's gonna need and the skills that he's gonna need. We've talked about employment since he does love sports so much that we would try to seek volunteer opportunities to maybe work a concession stand or be the cashier at local high school sporting events. I know we have talked some about the living in the future and what you would like. Is there anything you would want to?
We would like to see Brisco living on his own at some point. He would need obviously some supports, but it would be a nice experience, I think, for him to have some independence and be out on his own. I think he would like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. So maybe living somewhere with like a 24-hour caregiver. For the education and training, we'll have Brisco will develop appropriate interview skills. So doing this will provide mock interviews. We'll assign people maybe Brisco might not know. So it's like a real interview to come in and ask him questions and giving him the skills that he needs to participate in the appropriate interview. He'll participate in on-site training for a job. So he'll maybe be trained on how to work a cash register or
That's exciting.
yeah, or like things that you may want to do in the future since you love sports, maybe doing something with coaching in sports and learn all that includes.
Join us at some games
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
on the sidelines.
Yeah.
So for development of employment, we'll have Brisco identify career path of interest. So we've already done some of that. With just sort of what he's interested in. We know sports and we know he loves math, but just investigating more in that and maybe doing an inventory on it, and then maybe learning different ways to get transportation in the future and like riding buses.
I love the bus.
Yes, just learning what's around and like how to get a hold and like get on a bus to get somewhere.
Wow, that's very grown up.
I know. And to make you feel better, we will have someone with him
Okay,
at all
good.
times. So we'll
Good,
just
good.
start out by doing research, and then maybe down in the future, but we'll definitely let you know when this will be taking place. But going out on a bus trip and getting more experience doing that.
Maybe that would be a fun Saturday activity too.
Yeah. Do it with Mom. For community participation, we have he'll participate in the community-based instruction. So in high school, we do go out in the community. So we'll go to local grocery stores or anything really, and maybe we'll give him a budget or a grocery list or something. Yeah, to go out and find the items that's on the list, and following the budget that he can't spend over than the money he has. Just the basic
need practice with that.
Just the basic skills for out like living on his own in the future. And then we'll practice how to appropriately ask for job applications or maybe things that he wants to do in the future. For adult living, he'll obtain appropriate accommodations to live as independently as possible, and we talked about him enrolling in the Live Out Loud Academy and learning the skills that he needs to live independently, or with a caregiver. And then
I was gonna say, I know Dad and I have been super nervous about thinking about that far in the future, but I think it'll be really good for him to be as independent as possible, and I know that's something that he would definitely look forward to, being able to have his own space and things like that.
Yes.
So
I know that can be very nerve-wracking, but we'll definitely try to prepare him with the skills as much as we can on our end. And we have him enrolling in courses to teach more independent living and what he'll need to live independently in the future. And then for related services, we have him meeting with an occupational therapist once a week to prepare for skills for the workforce, so maybe manipulating money.
Mr. Mike.
Mr. Mike. Oh, okay, we like Mr. Mike.
Yes, Brisco loves Mr. Mike. But just working with like manipulating coins or counting money, using his hands or knowing how to operate a cash register with his fingers. In PE, do you see anything with OT that maybe he's been successful with or needs more assistance?
I would say we could probably do something with maybe not OT or PT, but like using how we can adapt your wheelchair or how we can adapt the register so that you can reach it, because sometimes the counters are too high or the spaces may be really small, so finding a good place for you to like park your wheelchair and to be able to use the register, or maybe if you're not working the register, maybe if you're making french fries or whatever you want to do in there. We'll have to figure out how we can get your chair in there and like so everybody's safe. So we can and it's all in the gym, so you could probably come in one day. We can just see what works and what doesn't work and see what adaptations we can make for you.
Sound good to you?
Sounds good.
For daily living skills, we have Brisco obtain knowledge and practice in his self-care routine. So having checklists that he'll complete, and like nightly routines and just different things like that, that he will have to follow.
So we need you to wrap it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are.
That he'll need to follow. Do you have any questions? Does that sound good?
Alrighty.
Fine.
Alrighty.
Thank you all for all coming to the meeting.